Hey, girl, hey.
Hey.
How you is?
Very good.
How
are you?
Very good?
Mm-hmm.
I like that you did it with an accent.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting on board.
Well, you are off the recording.
Right?
We always talk with an accent of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a hot flash or you want me to go?
I want you to go because I feel like they're going to be good.
I got two of them. And one of them is just people watching in an airport, and people in an airport is just fun anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could, like mouth open, heavy breathing, staring at people.
Yeah.
Because
Like
you're just invested. Right. But one of my pet peeves, and I'm sure it's somebody else's, is when they're, on your boarding pass, you're like section or zone 1 through 7.
Right.
And everybody lines the fuck up to rush to get on that, to rush to wait in line to get to their seat and sit on the plane and either freeze or sweat, depending on the time of the year, for 30 fucking minutes. I would rather be the last person on that plane.
Me too. And I never understood that either because, like, where are you going?
We all gonna get on.
Where are you going? Like, when they have groups for a reason.
Right.
So that you're not being annoying, walking past a ton of people, hitting them with your bag when you go down the aisle. And
the groups, like, they don't do very well. I feel like they do it based on when you check in. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, sure, if you want to board first class and, like, the plus or whatever, comfort plus or whatever for Delta, first, great. Mm-hmm. But why can't then zone 3?
The back of the plane.
Back of the bus.
Yeah, it makes more sense. Way more sense to live like that.
Fill them up.
Yeah. I haven't flown in a year, probably. Uh-huh. But when you're talking about, people and just the way they behave in airports. So, like, when somebody gets on the plane and they only have so much room in the overhead compartments.
Yeah.
So, I don't put anything up there.
Me either.
Because I'm always afraid that I'm going to, like, drop my bag on somebody, break their neck, or, being rushed while people watching your ass, I don't do good. So there's always that person that shoves their jacket up there, too.
Their jacket, their backpack, and their bag. And you're like, you couldn't put it down underneath your feet.
No, because they want to stretch their legs out.
Mm-hmm. Stretch them around it, because that's what I do.
Right.
You too.
Yeah, well, like... the ones that stretch them all the way forward? Yes. So, I had one guy in front of me one time. And I'm like, have you ever flown on a plane before?
They keep stretching and pushing back.
Stretching and pushing, but then he put his stuff under his seat. So, you know how it has that bar under the seat? He had to, like, lift it up under that bar and just rammed it under his own seat. And I'm like, that's not how this works. So then it pushed my bag into my seat.
I think I was with you. I feel like
is this real? Like,
and I think you had to say something to
like, that's not where it goes.
I feel like you said something to the flight attendant.
Yeah,
because you tried to leave it without having to say anything. And she was like, you need to put your bag further under. Was that it?
Yes. And under mine. Yes. She's getting on to me for where my bag is. And I'm like, this asshole doesn't know how the plane works. Talk to him. I'm like... Because she even had to tell him, like, no, you can't recline while we're taking off. I think it was the same trip where old boy with the
crazy
Jack
antics.
Daniels. Yeah.
That was a good one.
I think it was that same flight.
We'll have to tell you that in a minute.
We did tell him about that one. Yeah,
yes.
when we went to Arizona.
Oh, my God, that was hilarious.
Yeah, so I think it was that same flight. And there was so much happened on that flight. But.
And then you have the people also, the other... pet peeve, and then I got another hot flash.
Well, we're just gonna have a 30-minute episode of what has pissed Courtney off.
And it's not really pissed off. It's just you just look at them and you shake your head like, what? The people trying to get off the plane faster than everybody else.
Oh my God!
I understand if you have a connection that's like super tight.
Right.
Say it. Right. I got a connection. Do you mind if I go?
Mm-hmm.
Don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
Gramps was trying to he had Grams with him. Mm-hmm. Got out 2 rows behind us. Mm-hmm. Got out of his seat. Got his bag down. Mm-hmm. Not Grams. Got his bag down, rolling bag. Mm-hmm. And was up.
Leaving her ass.
5 rows ahead of us, waiting in line because he wanted off the plane.
Yeah.
And then my favorite was that he got, to the, I don't even know what they call it, but the place where you're like walking back into the
jet bridge.
That's what I want to call it. Mm-hmm. Where you're walking back into the airport. Mm-hmm. He had to stay there and wait for Grams. Sure.
Maybe he needed to get some circulation going.
I don't know. Say that.
Worried about blood clots or something.
Tell me. I just think it's so rude sometimes. Mm-hmm. We all want to fuck off of this.
He ditched her.
He did.
I would be like this. Listen, Corey.
She didn't seem very happy.
No, I'm sure not. And then she had to get her own bag down.
Yep.
Yeah, like you can at least get her bag down and say, "See you on the other side." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ditch her after you help her.
Yep.
I can't see Corey doing that though.
No, Corey would never let you get your own bag down.
No.
If he could help it.
And ditch me.
If he even had 1 broken arm, he's still getting your bag down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My other one is why people care so much about other people's lives and will do some shitty shit to ruin them or to, it's so evil.
Yeah.
We have a friend.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
On Facebook lately that I'm just flabbergasted. Like, I don't even have the words to say. Like, people are wasting energy to be evil people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, you're taking up so much of your time and your life.
For hate.
Just hate.
I'll never understand it.
Me either.
And it annoyed me so bad. I was like, we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, and the text that she had shared on Facebook, I read it, and it's written the same way the real watchdog posts on Facebook.
I didn't catch that.
I'm wondering if, that's total theory, like, I could be totally off, but the way he told her to stay frosty.
Yeah.
That's, like, that really stood out to me. Like, is the real watchdog the one? I mean, it's
so gross.
They're just causing so much havoc.
It's so gross.
And I can understand, like, being fed up with someone or being annoyed with someone, but, like,
let it go. You're hurting yourself.
Move on. Block that person. Like, stop giving it your energy.
Agreed.
Like, do you got a job?
How much energy? I mean? And then putting so much energy into getting her phone number out there to get different texts and calls.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild. That's stalker behavior.
Oh, for sure. I would be nervous.
Me too.
And, she's in the process of grieving something too. And then to be...
And her kids.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Like, it's mean.
It's gross.
Yeah.
I just had to say something because I just can't... I don't understand somebody being that hateful in their heart to do that.
Yep, me either.
So I had to say it. Sorry. Yep. And then my last thought, and Josh thought it was pretty funny, when we're heading on to the airplane, and everybody's taking their shoes off and putting their stuff.
Taking their shoes off?
Not the airplane, but through TSA.
Oh, okay.
Taking their shoes off for TSA.
I'm like, there's people taking their shoes off on the plane?
To get on the airplane.
Yeah, gotcha.
Then you go through the machine, step here, put your arms up, let us... It just reminded me of herding cows.
Oh, for sure.
Prodding them through a gate to get this done, to continue to go.
And sometimes I feel like it looks more like herding cats.
Because
people get nervous or something, and then everybody forgets the rules. They don't follow oral instruction. Like,
that's like...
It's a mess.
That's why I said cows, because cows would be all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was giggling when I said that.
Yeah, herding cows, for sure. And there's some of those TSA agents, they look like they'd probably cattle prod you if they were allowed.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, they always look so annoyed. But I would be too, having to deal with the public like that.
A lot of people, yeah, it does.
I would be Biatch.
Yeah, I wouldn't have my job for long.
No.
Because I would be over people and be like, see ya. Never mind.
They'd be like, no, you are not stable enough to work for Homeland Security.
I don't think I would be rude. I don't think you would be either. I think it's just the fact that
my face would look it.
I would, mine too.
It'd be like this.
I would go home and be like done.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Social battery dead.
What's your hot flash?
And it's really stupid, but it's I hate. So when people say I seen instead of I saw,
hate it.
I don't know why it bothers me so much.
It's bothering me.
But it's like, hold on. I mean, I'm not an extremely educated person, right? Like, I didn't go to college and I got through high school, okay? But that just really drives me crazy. Like, that is basic stuff that we learned in elementary. And when you say it out loud, it sounds funny to me. Like, it doesn't flow. You know what I mean? So then when I read it, I'm like... Or like when people say, I'm going to sail my truck instead of sell. I don't know why.
I think...
But I'm not an asshole and I don't correct them.
Well, my thing with sell and sell is people just don't know how to spell. So they probably think sell when they post it online.
Sale.
But seen?
Yeah, to that, seen's really bad.
That's so annoying.
I seen Courtney the other day. Excuse me?
You saw.
Yeah. I think Sophia said...
I seen it.
Yeah.
I hate when people say, I seen it.
Yeah. She was, I think, probably 9th grade. And she said, I know, I seen it. And I said, no. You saw it. Mm-hmm. You don't say seen.
I hate it, too.
She looked at me like, you're such a bitch.
There was one the other day, and I'm racking my brain trying to remember what it was, but more than one person did it in a comment thread, and I was like, oh, that bugs me too. It's so funny, the little grammatical things that you're like, it's probably our ADHD that does that.
Probably, and you get stuck on it.
Show.
Well, and then I'm like, well, maybe I'm saying it wrong, even though I know I'm not saying it wrong, and I Google myself. I'm like, is it seen or saw? And I'm right, saw.
The one, I'm going to have to go back and find it, and we're going to have to post it. But it was on a post of somebody telling people that they could come here from Florida and stay.
Yeah.
And so they replied something, and I can't remember what it was.
Hold on, time out.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, go look at it. Go look it up.
Just a minute. Temp. T-E-M-P.
Tempt.
Yeah.
A lot there. Yes. So it was that they were saying you can come stay here, and the replies were don't tempt me. Don't tempt me.
Like temperature.
I'm like, and two people. I was like, well, maybe it was spell correct, autocorrect. Mm-hmm. And then two people did it, and I was like, it's tempt. In my mind, you know, you want to comment on it. I would never.
Yeah, but you're not an asshole.
I'm not an asshole. I would never do it. I'll just think, what?
Yeah.
Do you say that in real life?
Right. Speaking of autocorrect, lately my phone, I don't know what its problem is, but every time I type the, and it's like the beginning of a sentence, so it's capital, it says Teresa.
Me too.
And I'm like, I don't even speak to a Teresa. Why does it keep doing
Mine
this?
too. Teresa.
And I've sent it a few times.
Me too.
And I'm like, not Teresa. Should have said the.
It did it. Isaac
Stupid-ass
sent one to
phone.
me the other day too, and it said Teresa.
So it's doing it to him?
Who's
And Teresa?
It's doing it to me too.
Yeah.
I've had it for probably a year do it, but I have an Aunt Teresa.
Right.
So I was like, well, maybe it's just...
But for it to do it to Isaac and me, too? Mm-hmm. Who's Teresa? What'd she be doing?
She did some type of something with
She's
the
viral.
upgrades. And she's like, I'm going to make all these people autocorrect.
Could you imagine it's somebody in, like, the IT department at Apple?
They're like...
They do the iOS upgrade. Every time these people type they're going to say my name, Teresa. That would be a good prank. That would be a good prank.
Oh, welcome to Adventures of Des and Court. I'm Court.
I'm Des. How was Michigan?
It's good.
Good.
We flew into Sault Ste. Marie, which is like, I don't know, an hour out of Mackinac City, which is where Josh's parents live. And we just went around to a few different places that day. What did we do? And then we went and gambled. Mm-hmm. And then...
Did you win anything?
I won.
You did?
And then lost it.
Oh, shit.
It's okay, though.
Yeah, it was for fun.
Chalked it up to, it was Josh's birthday, and he fucking loves gambling. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, you're going to pay that much for dinner and a movie.
Yeah.
So. Mel likes to say that she won because she went home with some money, but she was not up.
Yeah, I was going to say, how much did she invest?
And then we went and saw the Tequamanon Falls, which was cool. It's kind of like the Shoshone Falls.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But they're not as high as the Shoshone Falls, I don't think. But still super pretty. And then we golfed, and then we came home.
She been be golfing on vacation now.
Yep. It's our whole personalities.
The entire thing.
That's all I be thinking about. How I fix this, how I fix that. I need to get some new clothes.
Yeah, me too. Because
golfing.
every time, you like to have those pictures and stuff. Corey posted one. I said, God, I'd be wearing the same thing every time. I need some new clothes and a new hat.
Ain't nobody notice. Could just be like, you like a lot of black.
Yeah.
And maybe I do be wearing the same hat.
Same hat, same golf dress.
So I've been doing that. I don't do the dress anymore, but I got a skirt, shorts, leggings.
That skirt was really cute. I saw you wearing it the other day.
And either a black or a gray tank top. That's it.
Same thing.
Same. It's okay. But then you're like, we gotta go. We don't have very many days left that's going to be...
warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe it's still this warm in the middle of October.
I know.
It's nuts.
Nuts! Are you nuts?
I love that. So Gary, my stepdad, has the best dad jokes. And he's always waiting to drop one on you. And I think, it wasn't Aaron asking him for almonds or something?
From Costco.
Yeah. And his reply was, "Are you nuts?" And he thought it was the funniest thing. And now we always say it. And it's
the
just...
best. It's stuck.
Yeah. He probably is like, where did you guys get that?
We are autistic because we freaking grab something and we stick with it. Mm-hmm. And we use it and use it and use it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it disappears one day. But that one's hung on for a few years.
Yes.
So while you guys were in Michigan, Corey, you know how he talks in his sleep? We've talked about this.
Yeah.
So I was
a creep.
Sleeping so good.
God.
Like, had my freaking weighted blanket. I was on my back in magnesium. And I was, like, sunk into the bed out. And this guy gets up on his elbow because he's on his side. And so he, like, lifts up on his elbow. And he's probably 9 inches away from my face and yells. I swear to God. He said... What is that? I was like, oh my God.
What is it? I don't know.
So then I'm like trying to wake up and my eyes feel so heavy and I'm like, huh? And he goes, where am I? I'm like, you're in bed. He's like, it's moving. I'm like, oh my God, no, it's not. So then I'm trying. Yes. And the ghost. So I'm like, oh my God, And he was so loud. Because typically, sometimes he can get loud, but I'm not kidding you. He was yelling that night, and my adrenaline was so high.
What is that? Where am I?
I go, we're in bed. It's okay. Go back to sleep. It's moving. I'm like, no, it's not. Go back to bed. He rolls over. I'm up for 3 hours now.
What if the bed was moving?
But I was so like jarred awake from it.
Grabbed my blanket the other day.
I was so jarred from it that I laid there for 3 hours wide awake. And so in the morning, he's like, how'd you sleep? I was like, well, I was doing really good till you yelled at me. He's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, you was yelling in your sleep. And I told him, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's okay. It's not like you meant it, right. You know. But if you could just kind of behave, that'd be great.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he did that as a kid. You got to
ask Rose. Rose said he used to talk in his sleep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. And usually it's worse if he's like stressed super or something tired. On his on his brain, then it's worse. But that one got me good. 9 inches away from your face, screaming at you. I would have had a heart attack. Sleep. I felt like I was like heart and throbbing in your ears. Yeah. And then you get hot, because you're adrenaline rush. Get your feet out of the cover and then go. What if that ghost is here? The ghost is here. I don't need it to tickle my foot. My dad said. Yeah, so stupid. So stupid. What was it that he said? Huh? Who? Your dad. About the. You got to keep your feet under the covers, or the devil is gonna pull on your toes. Devil will pull on your toes. Well, and as a kid, you have an idea of like what you think the devil looks like. It's scary as shit. So, we stayed in bed. For sure. Your mom made me laugh because she had one today. What'd she say? Her little sayings, and she was talking like the gully whomper. Yeah. What did she say this time? She was talking about, like, you staying at other people's places. Personally, anybody staying at somebody's house or somebody staying at your house. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about how, like, 3 to 4 days. And she said, you better move on because you're going to start smelling like a fish. What? Mm-hmm. You're going to start smelling like a fish. You stay too long. I've never heard her say that. What the hell does she mean? We'll start stinking if you stay in one place too long. You're going to overstay your welcome, and nobody's going to like that you're there because you're going to smell like fish. That is the craziest shit I've ever heard. I'm like, she's making these up now. Like, she's doing it on purpose. Yeah, I like it. Because I haven't heard that one. It's my fave. Like, I can't start smelling like a fish. Sophia would be like, what? I can't wait for someone to come and say they want to stay at my house. I'm going to be like, well, you got 4 days. Yeah, because you're going to start stinking. Your time is up after 4 days. You need to go home. Oh, goodness. What you got? A big yawn. I have something on my phone that I'm going to bring up. Okay, bring it up. We're going to have to get a personality. I got 2 more things. Okay. That we can chit-chat about. Rose sent me this. And it says, it's on TikTok. And it's a lady and she's sitting in her car. And it says, did you hear about the bride who frantically went looking for her 30-year-old groom to take pics at their wedding? When she finally found him in their hotel room, nursing on his mom's chest. Seen it. Groom stated that it was a normal thing for him when he gets stressed. Mm-hmm. Excuse me? Mm-hmm. The internet still finds ways to shock me. Yep. And I had seen that on another person's thing, so I'm like, this can't be real, it's right? It's fucking real. Like, what would you do if you were the bride? I would, like, we ain't married, like, was it afterwards? It was after they got... I don't know if it was after the wedding, but they were maybe they were doing pics before. I don't know. We're not finishing the wedding. What if you were married at this point? You had just gotten married. We're getting a divorce. Like, that's so gross. Mm-hmm. That's how I felt, too. I was like, I don't care how madly... It's inappropriate. So inappropriate. I wouldn't care how madly in love... There's sexual shit going on. I don't care how madly in love I was with somebody. I would be getting some counseling, moving out of the state, changing my name. There's incestual shit. Crazy. It's so gross. Yeah. It just helps me with my stress. Well, that's disgusting as fuck. Yes, disgusting. And I just want to know if it's true. Like, it can't be. Somebody had to have made that up, right? I would hope so, but so I saw that too, and then went to comments, and other people were saying, like, I thought it was weird seeing a 6-year-old do that. Yeah. Which I know some people do it, but I feel like that's too old. Yeah. I feel. Well, I mean, it's not even really giving them any nutrition at that point, right?
Right. No.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some weird people in this fucking world.
Well, I'm watching the Menendez brothers on Netflix.
Yeah.
Are you? Have you?
I have not watched it, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and they said that one isn't like an actual, like it's kind of made up a little. They've like, what do you call it? Embellish a little bit.
Yeah,
but they said it's gruesome.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with it because it goes into like abuse and sexual abuse and molestation and all that. And I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll be able to finish it.
You should watch The Yellow Jackets.
You were telling me about that, but I can't remember what it's about.
The Yellow Jackets I just watched on the plane. It's about a girl, the senior. They were like maybe a little older than us. I think they graduated in 96 in the show. That made it to nationals, and they were getting flown on a private plane, and the plane goes down in the woods.
Oh, wow.
And the ones that are left, there's, I don't know, maybe 10 of them that are left, and they have to figure out how to get out. And they live in the woods for like 18 or 19 months.
Holy
shit. Sketchy shit goes down. Some weird, like, supernatural stuff.
See, I don't know about that.
But I think it's cool because it's Halloween.
Oh, so yeah.
I was like, it's fun. There's more.
Is it a real story?
No.
Oh, okay. Then I might be able to watch that.
It's not a real one.
Okay. I might have to watch that. I still need to finish my mom talk.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some other things you need. Speaking of TikTok, you're not a big TikToker. You're more Reels, right? There's a TikToker that was digging in her backyard. Did you see this one?
No.
And she found a rug buried.
Okay.
Right? So
I'd be like 911.
I think she maybe had like, I don't know, 40,000 followers. I think she's got over 2 million followers or something now because of this thing that went down.
Oh my gosh.
So it like plays out over, I want to say maybe a week, maybe 5 days. She finds this rug. Everybody says, you should call the cops.
That's what I would do.
So she calls the cops come out. They look at it. They say, we're not doing anything. Like, we can't be sure that it could just be somebody buried a fucking rug. Like,
but you need to check it out.
Well, they didn't do anything then. Okay. Well, then a few days goes on, maybe one day, somebody in like the homicide department finds out, and he like doesn't want to give it up. Well, they bring out cadaver dogs, 2 of them. The cadaver dogs sit on the rug.
Oh my
gosh. Which
yeah.
they say is like for 2 of them to do it is like a less than 1% chance that there's not something there.
Holy shit.
So then they tape it off. They all come out. They dig. Like, they get the, like, excavator or whatever out there, dig. It's nothing.
What? Nothing at all?
This all plays out. I'm like this, waiting for updates every day.
Yeah. Like, what's happening?
Nothing. But they said with how many followers she ended up getting in, like, TikTok, you know, they'll pay you once you start. I guess after you make a certain amount of followers and start doing 1-minute videos, they'll pay you a certain amount. So somebody broke it down, like, and they were super conservative with their breakdown. And in the span of 3 days, she probably made $55,000. Then she got fucking broken into on her TikToky.
Oh.
And I think somebody stole her minis.
That sucks. $55,000 in 3 days.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Some of these people are making bank.
Yeah. We're doing it wrong.
I know. We need to go viral.
Virus. We're going to have to, we're going to need to go virus. We're going to have to get a personality, though.
You'll have to go to TikTok and look up the rug, because it plays out and you're like, oh my God.
Can't stop watching.
No. I was waiting for updates.
Yeah.
I know.
I'll have to check that out.
You ever been around those people and you're like having fun being around them, but the only thing that they talk about is other people? And then you leave them and you're like, they probably say stuff about me.
Oh, for sure.
definitely none of my business.
No, that's one thing that is so true. Like, it is none of my business what they say. Mm-mm. Because you can totally, like, spin on that and get sucked in worrying about it. And it's like,
there's just a lot of people to give a shit about other people and what they're... I mean, like, I give a shit about people, but...
Right,
like,
I know what you mean.
Things that have zero matter in your life.
Yeah, that don't impact you.
Zero.
Yeah. They got an opinion about everyone.
People giving a lot of fucks when they shouldn't be.
Oh, yeah.
And then you go, well, thanks for showing me who you are.
Yeah. We went and played trivia last night. Mm-hmm. And while doing this, I was playing with my friend Amanda and her husband Dave. They're in town visiting. And they were both prior military. Amanda, like, grew up traveling the world and stuff. You know, she was born in the UK, all these things. And Jane travels all the time.
Yes.
You know. And so I'm playing with them, and one round was like about poems. Speaking of poems, have you ever met someone that calls it a poem? Like, they don't say poem. It's like...
I call it a poem. Poem. There's a lot of people that just call it poem.
Poem. I would think I'm one of those aggressive poem people. But, like, anyways, so...
Poems.
Poems. And, you know, a lot of geography and history and stuff like that. And, like, when was this written? I'm like, I've never even heard of
Did you feel like the dumbest?
I felt like the dumbest. So I was writing the answers down for the team.
Big ding dong.
Yeah. I was like, I am so...
I hate that. Educated.
Uncultured.
I hate that.
I'm so uncultured. And they, like... It's a limerick, and they knew, you know... It's a stanza, and, like, these are things that we learned, but, like, I didn't hang on to
You lost it, yeah.
Yeah. So
Same.
they wanted to know how many syllables are in a haiku.
8?
17.
Oh, okay.
Because it's
three. I'm a ding dong.
5, 3, or 1, 3, 5. Anyways, 3 lines, 5 syllables. Like, they remembered that. And I'm like, I don't be remembering that stuff. I'm like this. I really am really uncultured and dumb.
You're not dumb.
I felt like the biggest idiot.
I hate that.
I'm like, sorry, guys, I can't provide any
I'll make myself
answers.
useful.
I'm going to write them down for you, though. I'm a good secretary.
You need some mortgage advice? I got you.
Yeah, mortgage advice, got you.
Golf advice, I might got you a little.
I mean...
You know enough to get yourself in trouble. Don't ask. I sometimes feel that way too. I feel like there's people that my son is one of them. Just Josh kind of is too. Mm-hmm. Hold on to like that kind of knowledge, history and events and things like that. I'm more of I need a trivia that's a whole bunch of useless information.
Yeah. And then sometimes I go, am I even smart enough for that?
You are.
I was like, I got to start reading or something because this brain is shrinking. It's getting burdened.
Maybe I need to take a couple classes.
Yeah, stop being on them reels so much, you dumbass.
Well, you can learn a lot there. Just need to find some educational ones.
Yeah, I don't
actually
want those
retain.
I want the funny ones.
Oh goodness!
Like Southern ladies giving you Southern sayings, like you're gonna start to stink.
Yeah, like a fish.
A goalie whomper.
Yep. Did you know that we're gonna be able to see the aurora borealis today or tomorrow morning?
Somebody's been. I feel like that's been on Facebook for like the last 3 days. Everybody's taking pictures.
It has been, but it's supposed to like cast down even further into the United States and be like very, very visible. It's supposed to be today and tomorrow. And I can't remember what they called it, but some type of storm. I can't remember.
Well, you ain't something got me. Magnetic. I'll write it down for you.
Something magnetic storm.
Like you got me. But
I want to say geomagnetic. Maybe
that sounds right. That sounds good.
But then they were saying that because it's going to be so strong, like it could shut down some power grids. Like they told New York to, like they've already warned people in New York that it could shut down some power grids.
feel like there's so much weird shit happening
That's where I was going. You got the hurricane after hurricane.
Yeah.
The election stuff. You got this geomagnetic storm.
Iran attacking Israel.
Everything's on fire.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, well, has it always been like this?
And we just didn't.
You just didn't have access to so many different...
Or awareness.
Yeah. So many different outlets for news and stuff like that. I mean, you can get it anywhere now. You don't have to buy the paper.
Or be watching the TV.
Yeah. So maybe that's why it feels that way. But it's starting to feel like there's a lot of shit going on.
I know. Somebody said, can I unsubscribe from 2020 to 2024?
Yeah. For sure. Can I get a 4-year, rebate? Is it a rebate? Refund.
And then somebody said...
dumb.
No.
Either way, it's 2 different. Refund. I need 4 more years tacked on to the end of my life, because this last 4 has been a racket.
Somebody said when I get older and somebody asks me anything from 2020 to 2024, I'm just going to stare off into the abyss.
Yeah, well, because 2019 feels like it was 2 years ago.
It does.
And then you start counting back and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Does that just mean we're old?
Probably.
I know.
Probably. See, I'm going to have to start doing some puzzles and taking in some information so my brain stops shrinking.
Maybe that's what we do as a hobby.
Crosswords?
No, I don't. I hate a fucking crossword.
I like them.
Well, maybe we sit at the table and do some flashcards.
Flashcards. We're studying.
Some trivia. Yeah.
Well, it was like the most random ass poem that I haven't ever heard of.
Poem.
Yeah, poem. And they're like, was it written in the 14th, 15th, or 17th century?
Hell no. Don't know.
So then I'm thinking of centuries, right? And I'm like, I'm going to sit this one out. And then Dave starts talking about the year who wrote this thing, and did he write it before he wrote this or after he wrote that? I don't even remember the names of all these things, but I was just sitting there like, somebody probably should have just wiped the drool off of my face because I looked so stupid.
I hate that. I honestly hate that.
They had enough info in their brains on this poem.
I didn't even do that in college. Literally, sometimes I think back and I'm like,
how did I survive?
Unless it was something I had to do, I probably don't remember it.
No.
Because all I did was pump this full of information and spit it the fuck out.
Yeah, put it on a piece of paper and moved on.
Yeah. And I got good grades.
Yeah.
But I dumped it.
Yeah. I mean, I felt like I dump a lot of things, too. Sometimes I'm like, what? That happened? Don't remember.
Don't bother me.
Yeah, I'm moving on.
Well, that's it, y'all.
Hope you liked it.
If you could share, comment, follow us. We appreciate all the love that you guys give us. We will. See you later, homegirls.